All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. And yeah, we got to get the fuck up out of here, man. What they were saying was it's an app. You know, it's like Tinder, but for dudes. And they were saying that at the Olympic Village with the athletes, they had to try to make it private so they couldn't see who was using the app, because they didn't want, you know, people from certain countries to have to face backlash when they went back to their country, where, you know, same-sex marriage is not permissible. You know, and basically they did the same thing in Chicago with the Republican National Convention. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play a little bit of this video, because yeah, these people it's all the same shit, man. It's all a ploy. You know, it's that two horns like a lamb, as spake as a dragon. You know, which we know that was talking about Rome, but this is the same thing done all over again. Right, and the two sides play off of each other, and then behind the scenes, like you have the owner of Fox News. You know, I forget what his name is, but he's conservative, but his son is liberal. And with these Edomites, you have families full of that. This person's conservative, this person's liberal, this person conservative, this, you know. It's all a ploy to push, you know, personal agenda and personal gain.
In usage of this app, which is generally for, you know, finding people to meet up, have a little bit of fun, that sort of thing.
You were probably on the app.
Website tracker Down Detector reported that Grindr had experienced a significant spike in outages in the past 24 hours. And in fact, if you look at this map of the outages, we can go ahead to the next one. It's not the only place in the country where they've had issues keeping the app up. New York is also very popular, and I think that's LA. But all of a sudden, the Chicago-Milwaukee area is experiencing a surge in use. So I want your thoughts on that, and also on the fact that is there anyone more endlessly positive and happy-go-lucky than George Santos? That you cannot get that guy down. The video will continue in just a moment. But first,
disappointing to me about my experience here at the Republican National Convention is how anti-freedom the party has become. They won't let you just come out and be like wildly gay here. You have to like be kind of keep it under the wraps, because they need to keep a group of religious conservatives under the umbrella. And if they, you know, all the people who run the party, the former president of the United States is a New Yorker. Like, he's from a town that has a lot of gay people in it. Mm-hmm. That's where you go when your family throws you out of other towns you can't grow up in anymore, and you go there. Like, they love it, but they need to keep it together. And that's an old hat to the Republican Party to kind of like have this ungodly thing. They just picked up the religious conservatives from the Democrats when they were done with them, put them under their tent, and we're like, please behave. We'll give you some, we're going to tell you we're working toward overturning Roe versus Wade, and that'll keep you happy that we're protecting these babies, and that's it. And now that creates what is not a free, they say that it's about free speech, but as we see all these people that are closeted gay Republicans, they can't be free because of the pressure, not from the Democrats. The Democrats are probably more pro-freedom, definitely more freedom than the Republicans. So like, I'm not going to tell you what you and your doctor decision can make. All about freedom. All about freedom. I want you to see, when you just call me by my name, here's my gender. And you're like, the Republicans are like, you can't be that. I don't like freedom. I think you can't be free to make your own decisions about what your name is even. Yeah. That's one thing. But on the other hand, I did go to karaoke, and there was a guy there that had a shirt that said, Biden is more confused than Michelle Obama's gynecologist. And I have seen the freaking biceps on all these Republican trad wives here. They're enormous. I just watched a woman walk by who looked like a...
That's enough. But the main point, like you said, which they say they're conservative. They're not. They say they're liberal. They're not. You know, they're both wicked. You know, one side just wants to kind of, because they know that tarnishes their image. All right, up to a certain point, that kind of behavior was considered a mental deficiency, even in under Esau standards. All right, but now, you know, being associated with all these different demons, you know, they pretty much have made it okay for everybody to like you saw with the Olympic shit. You got a woman with a beard on, and it's all kind of weird symbolism, you know, and shit going on. You know, and you already know, you know, when the Israelites, when we, you know, see these different rituals and shit going on, we're gonna say something, man, because Jake is following after the fashion of this world, trying to be, you know, represent under some shit that doesn't represent you. This is Psalms 144, and that's why you turn it to a vile affection. All right, the Lord gives people over to a reprobate mind. You're proud, you know, like it tells you in Romans 1. All right, but Psalms 144 and and 10. It says, "It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood." And such is the case with Esau, 100%. All right, 100%. You got a lot of musicians who they're into that, but they try to hide that because people know that it's wrong. All right, but at the end of the day, everything done in the dark shall come to the light. You know, the real men are going to stand. The righteous is going to be righteous still. The wicked is going to be wicked still, waxing worse. You know, and that's what we're seeing. And the damn Eiffel Tower in the background, the bank that funded the building of the Eiffel Tower, was the same bank that made the Haitians, that had the Haitians repay. You know, pay for hundreds of years. The Haitians had to pay back the French. You know, and that's what the Eiffel Tower was basically a symbol of. All right, we're under strange children. It says, "It is he, that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones polished after the similitude of a palace, that our gardeners may be full according to all manner of store, that our sheep may bring forth thousands and 10,000s in our streets." And here, we know damn well that's not going to happen. It ain't happening, man. And they're talking about is record evictions, record, what is it called? Where they take the car back. Shit. Repossessions. They said there's more repossessions than 2008 and 2020. See, Jake, and Jake is not gonna learn, or they're gonna learn, but they're gonna, like Jake always gotta learn. You gotta realize it at the last minute. Oh, like still haven't realized under this man, we're never gonna be as prosperous as the scriptures tell you that we're gonna be. All right, that we have to. That comes in the kingdom after this man is taken down, man. And as we can see, man, folly is set in great dignity. Right? Psalms 114 and 14, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there is no breaking in nor going out, that there be no complaining in our streets. There's a lot of complaining right now, man. The streets is all fucked up. Happy is that people that is in such a case, yea, happy is that people whose power is the Lord. Right? And that's who the Lord is dealing with. The Lord is dealing with the nation of Israel. He's not dealing with all nations. And then that's a precept for that. Happy is that people whose power is the Lord. Right? When you look back at, because that's what the Olympics is, man. It goes back to the Greco-Roman lifestyle, and then the passing the torch, which is a representation for, wisdom, which they stole from the scriptures. This is 2 Maccabees, though, 4. And we always go into this. Yeah, you gotta read through the Maccabees. You gotta know the history. That's why a lot of Christians they'll blindly follow vocab. You don't read history. You don't know about any of these captivities. You don't know what happened. You don't know who was where, what, why was Paul born in Tarsus, but he was allowed to come be a Roman citizen, but then he was educated in the temple at Jerusalem. The Christians, man, they really skip over so many details and then come to a conclusion, and that's folly. All right, you're a reprobate doing that. All right, but this is 2 Maccabees 4. And I want to get to the point. Verse 7, but after the death of Seleucus, when Antiochus called Epiphanes took the kingdom, right? Antiochus Epiphanes, aka Antiochus IV, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored underhand to be high priest, promising under the king. And see, the high priest was supposed to be pure. The high priest was basically the first mediator for all of Israel. So if you could corrupt that position, you could fuck Israel up. It says, promising unto the king by intercession 303 score talents of silver, and another revenue 80 talents. Beside this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise, and for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen, and to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochans. All right, when you look at these different people on TV, basically, LeBron James, whoever, they're being used by the elites for people to indoctrinate themselves in the American system. Right, LeBron and those guys, they co-sign all this shit. They co-sign the policies that America pushes. They co-sign all that stuff. All of the different, the T, the L, the G, the B. You can't represent them and not co-sign that. They co-sign that stuff. They might not say it openly, but they do. All right, he co-signed, Dwayne Wade and all that bullshit. That's his best buddy. It says, which when the king had granted, he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to Greekish fashion. And you best believe the Greekish fashion is going on. Anytime Esau come to town, like I showed the clip, the Republican National Convention, I had, that video popped up, I had zero idea. Like, what the fuck? And this is why we need our own land, man, because I've been looking at it, it just Esau brings in the heathens, right? This place is the whore, They bring them over here. They give them free shit. They put them in a certain status so they know, boom, boom, boom. Give them certain loan opportunities. Allow them to have their own bank. Jake is cut off. They keep Jake, cut off at a lower level. Some of you who make it to a certain level will use you to control the other ones. That they still running that play. Jake still hasn't caught on. All right, which is what was being done to Jason. Like I said, who is not a priest. And that's what they were trying to do with Daniel and his friends. They were supposed to go to Babylon and be indoctrinated. And then come back and then, basically cause their nation to err. So Esau always does that. They always pick certain people, throw them on, just put them in the spotlight. All right, this is verse 11. It says, "And the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Ptolemus, who went ambassador to Rome for amity and aid. He took away and putting down the governments which were according to the law. He brought up new customs against the law, for he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men." That's always the goal, the chief young men. All right, that's why, as a so-called Latino, so-called Native American, so-called black man, everything is aimed to throw you off, because they know that we're the true heads over the earth. All right, and brought the chief young men under his subjection and made them wear a hat. Now such was the height of Greek fashions and increase of heathenish manners through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, right, and no high priest, that the priests had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise after the game of discus called them forth. So they were in the nude playing some damn discus, throwing a damn disc. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose custom they follow so earnestly, and unto whom they desire to be like in all things. For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God, but the time following shall declare these things. All right, and that's what's about to happen, man. Rather than water destroy the earth this time, which the rainbow was a promise that the Lord would never do that again. They also stole that. They steal everything. They steal and repurpose, man. A lot of things come from the scriptures, and that's how you know it's Satan. Like you said, transform into an angel of light. All right, but this time it's gonna be fire. It's going to be fire this time. So that's all I had through the Spirit. Lord willing, is edifying to the elect. Shalom. Continue to pray for the destruction of Babylon.